still waiting on a federal judge to decide whether President Trump's order to deploy National Guard troops to Portland is legal. This comes after that U.S. District Court judge issued a preliminary injunction Sunday night.
It halts the deployment of National Guard troops to Portland until at least Friday, when we should expect a final decision from the judge. Fox 12 investigative reporter Adrian Thomas has the latest.
U.S. District Judge Karen Immergut has issued an order keeping troops off Portland streets while she prepares her final ruling on the case. But in that latest 16-page order, Immergut stated that the protests outside the ICE facility were not nearly as extreme as the government argued in court. She found there was neither a threat of rebellion nor an inability of regular federal officers to enforce federal law, the two reasons cited by Trump's lawyers for needing National Guard assistance. While this wasn't Judge Immergut's final decision on the case, it could be an indication of how she is feeling overall about the matter. And in the meantime, lawyers for the Trump administration are now asking to withdraw their appeal to a higher court of a previous temporary restraining order that Judge Immergut issued in regards to troop deployment. That restraining order kept troops off the streets while the main trial in Judge Immergut's courtroom was pending and played out last week. If the appellate judges grant that motion, it would mean that all the discussion of the previous temporary restraining order and the higher federal appeals court would be considered moot, meaning no longer relevant. However, it is likely a new appeal will be made of Judge Immergut's final decision over the legality of National Guard deployment by whichever side she rules against. Adrian Thomas, Fox 12 Oregon.